Hello and welcome to today's video. This is a really exciting one. I'm doing a reading vlog and I haven't done a reading vlog in quite a long time, so I'm actually really quite excited for this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And the way I want to do this is I want to finish the TBRs that I've set this year. Like, there's no question, no way around that. Like, I would like to finish the TBRs that I've set. And I still have a lot of books left on my TBRs. If I've done everything correctly and I've calculated everything correctly, I have 14 books that have been on TBR this year that I've not read. This does span all the way from like January to now. So like it includes the October TBR and it's currently the 6th of October as I'm recording this. So like there's leeway, there's room, and like if I didn't include October, it would be less, but it still would be about 10. I don't know. I haven't done that calculation, but we've got 14 total books that are on TBRs that have not yet been read. So how am I going to do this? I have created, if I pull this chair over here, this is the easiest way I could think to do this, and it's really not that easy, is it? Let's do it that way and do it this way. I've created a spinner wheel. Now, I am going to try and screen record this when I actually spin the wheel. However, I've tested this out a few times, and no matter where I put the screen recording over the wheel, when the results pop up, the results aren't popping up right on top of the wheel, they're popping up somewhere else. So I'm not 100% confident how to do this. So I'm going to leave this here as I spin. So if the screen recording doesn't entirely work, we've still got this. But yeah, so that's the plan. Now, I have also tested this a few times and I've put one rule in place. Like, I want this to 100% be on the spinner wheel. However, there are 4 books on the spinner wheel that are non-fiction. If or when one of those non-fictions is selected by the spinner wheel, I will be removing the rest of those non-fictions. Because honestly, like, I know myself and I know my reading, and I know that I can't personally read more than one non-fiction a week. Like, it's just not going to work, and it's going to cause this entire vlog to fail if I try, to be quite honest. So, if a non-fiction comes up, that will be the non-fiction that we're reading, and I won't be even attempting any of the others. The other thing I would love to get, I don't know if I will get, I'm not going to put in a rule for this, but I'd really like one of these to be an audiobook. My super ideal, I'm going to put it out into the universe, my super ideal would be to get Amari and the Despicable Wonders, because I currently have that audiobook out from the library, and I think I've got 2 weeks till I need to return it, but I will still need to return it at some point. So if I can get that whilst I've got the audiobook with no stress of a deadline, that would be great. But yeah, I think I'll probably end up reading 3 books in this vlog. I'm going to do Monday to Sunday. I don't think I have any plans at all this coming weekend. So like that will leave me with a lot of reading time. So yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's all you need to know. I want to start reading. It is 3:30, so I would love to have a book picked out to be able to start reading as soon as I've finished doing all like the worky bits that I need to do for the day. So let's screen, where are we? Okay, that will work there, that will screen record, that will record. You won't see this on the screen record, so let's quickly do this now. We're going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Oh, you can see it on the screen record. I will just have left that in. And let's spin. Is the laptop in frame? Okay, hopefully you'll be seeing a screen recording right now. If not, hopefully this works with the laptop. Let's spin. What's the first book going to be? Is that a non-fiction already? Non-fiction already. That is Speak Still. Yeah. Okay, let's switch to the laptop view because it has popped up in the middle. So that is Speak Still that we are selecting, which is here. Speak Still is articulating the silence of bilingualism, and based on the back of it, just this like little quote section is all I'll read out, is silence, just like its outspoken counterpart, is a paradox. It enchains, yet also enables. It fails, yet it also fulfills. It's complex, it's ambivalent, it's human. I will pop the entire synopsis on the screen if you'd like to read more. But I'm very, very excited about this. This is a 5-star prediction. I think I'm going to really love this. I love the 404 Inklings. This is part of that series. I don't know what number this is. I guess I can check that. So this is the 30th. This is the 30th Inkling that's come out. I have currently read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've currently read 7 Inklings. This will be my 8th Inkling that I read. I'm really, really excited to do it. They've all been either 4.5 or 5 stars so far. There is one that I picked up a very long time ago that I haven't finished, and I'm worried that will be one that takes my overall Inkling rating down, but let's ignore that for now. Overall, out of all the Inklings that I've finished, they've all been amazing. They've been 4.5 or 5 stars. It's really, really interesting. It's basically someone who the publishers have faith in that they are the person to write about the subject that they are presenting, and they write basically, I don't know if this is the correct way to word it, but a very long essay. These are all, I've noticed, between 90 and 110 pages. This one is 102. And it's just a really interesting overview, deep dive look into a very specialist subject. But also normally I found gives you a lot of breaking off points as well. Like, oh, you're interested in this part of what I've said? Here's sources, here's more to look at, here's stuff like that. And I've absolutely loved it. So I'm very excited to read this. Now, let's hide that choice, so that is removed from the wheel, and let's also go through. So I am going to remove Bad Gaze, I am going to remove Globalisation, and I am going to remove Disfigured, because I can't do more than one non-fiction, I just can't. But let's spin once more, so I've got a fiction to go along with it as well, because this will probably take me 4 or 5 days. I don't read as fast when it comes to non-fiction. So let's do this again. We did our second spin already. That's very exciting. Okay, and the recording settings are already set up. Okay, lovely. Here we go. Let's do our second spin for our second book, and those will be the 2 books that we'll start with this week. With how small this is, I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll get to 4, but let's stick with the goal of trying to read 3. Where are we? Okay, this is exciting. So let's hide the choice. We've got Sapling Cage and stop the recording. Okay, so that picked the Sapling Cage. I'm really excited about this. I will say, this is not one that I'll be listening to the audiobook for. I did give a little listen to the audiobook and I just couldn't get into it. You know how on most audios they give you 5 minutes sample. I mean, it could be because I'm pretty sure I got it from Spotify is where I listened to the sample of this one, I'm pretty sure. And it doesn't give you 5 minutes at the start, it's a random 5 minutes. So maybe that's why. Maybe I'll give it another go when I'm actually picking it up. But I don't think this will be an audiobook one. I think this will be an eyeball read one. And I'm excited about this. I'm really, really excited about this. This is YA and it's witchy. And I think it's going to be really fun. So basically we have a witch who was born a boy, but she knows she's a witch, and when a coven comes to claim her best friend, she disguises herself and joins in her friend's place. So I think it's going to give magic school vibes, that kind of thing. But she's obviously very scared that she's going to be found out, but she also is really getting a lot out of this. She's getting new friends, she's getting mentors, and it's described as the first book of a magical queer coming-of-age story about found family, trans witchcraft and resistance against corrupt authority. I'm so excited to read this. These are our first 2 books. This is what we're starting the week out. I'm hoping that within the next couple of hours I'll be able to do some reading because I'm very excited about both of these. So welcome to the vlog. Okay, so I actually thought I'd come and check in straight away because I've had a really exciting delivery. I was going to unbox this whole thing, but my address was on the box. But I took it out of the box and it's wrapped really lovely. So this is going to sound insane, but this is my 2026 reading journal, which I know sounds really early, but because I make a big video setting this journal up every year, I like to, in October, plan and pencil it out. In November, record my video and then have it edited in the first few days of December to get it out. So although this sounds a bit over the top, it is intentional. I am aware that it's very early to buy my reading journal. But essentially, I've gone for a completely different brand that I've never used before, a completely different size and shape, and I'm really, really excited about it. So I just thought I'd open it on camera because this is really exciting. So just for background, I guess. I used to have a reading journal this size and shape. This is actually my 2025 bullet journal. I love this size and shape for my bullet journals. I think it's great, but it just didn't quite work for me for reading journals. It was getting too big and bulky and very difficult to use. So for 2025, I tried the same brand, so Leuchtturm 1917, but I tried their bigger size. This is A5, this is the A4 plus size. And I've liked this, but it's had different problems, mainly because I've been wanting to write loads for books that I've loved. But one page in this is great for books that I love, but books that I like, one page in this is very awkward because I'll normally use between like half and 2/3 of a page, and then I'm left with a third of a page. So I'm like almost waiting for a book that I don't like that much, so that I'm only using a sliver of the page. And it's also got big and bulky already. So yeah, I just wanted to try something new. I was like, this isn't perfect. It kind of felt like the problems that I had in this one and the problems that I had in this one were different. And if I could find one kind of in the middle of the two size-wise, it could work. So these are the only sizes that Leuchtturm 1917 do in their journal setups. They do have sketch pads, but I don't want a sketch pad, I want a journal. So I'm trying Archer and Olive. I've heard so much about this brand because they are so big in America. I struggled to find this. There is a shop that I used. I'm really happy with it. It's like the only UK stockist that I could personally find. And I mean, it's here, it's arrived safely, and it's, you know, sealed in cellophane, so I'm excited to just open it. I will link that shop down below because if you're in the UK and you do want Archer and Olive, like, they seem pretty decent. They don't have the biggest selection. I think they had about 8 designs to choose from. So I know that there are normally more, like whenever I watch like the American people set up their reading journals at the start of the year, there's a lot of range in designs. And it looks like this design that I've got is from the Attic Treasures 2014 set. And this is the 8x8 frame wall in the dot grid. And this is 160 pages of 160 GSM. So yeah, let's open it because I've waffled. I've been talking for over 3 minutes now, and this was meant to just be a quick check-in because I'm excited. Oh, this is so exciting. And then I'll just tip it. Oh, this is luxurious as well, I will say. Like, this did cost more than my Leuchtturm, but not by a ridiculous amount. I can't remember the exact price. I'll pop it up on screen. Enough that if it's good, I'm happy to pay this once a year, basically. But yeah, oh, this is nice. So I've just, oh, it does feel like nice. Like, you get a box, you get to unbox it. Like, it feels like they're, I don't know, like giving you something worth a bit more, I guess. But yeah, this is stunning. So this is the design that I went for. It's like a gallery wall, and there are pumpkins and leaves that are like almost falling, so like it does feel very like autumnal to me, but it also is like obscure enough that I'm going to be happy to use this the whole year round. So yeah, it's also a different type of paper that I'm used to. Like, these are kind of like fake leathery feeling things, whereas this is like a textured, like, if I put it near the microphone, like, it's kind of textured. But yeah, I'm really excited. Oh, I didn't even know it came with a pen leaf. Okay, that's quite exciting actually. And yeah, this looks stunning. I am very, very happy with this. I will say this might be controversial. I don't know if even people who watch my journaling videos watch my reading videos. But it does come with these 2 dangly bits, and one of them has a charm on. And personally, for my preference, I think this is going to annoy the shit out of me, and I think I'm going to end up cutting the charm off, which every video I watch to kind of like decide to buy this for sure, like, the charm was such a big deal. But yeah, I think that's going to get chopped off. But I'll leave it for now. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. So I just wanted to unbox this, and I'm probably going to go stare at this for a bit longer. But yeah, that's it for my update. I'm going to read now. check-in. I haven't actually spoken to you since before I started reading, so let's talk about it. Speak Still. I'm about 6-7 pages into this. So far, thoroughly enjoying it. Already started tabbing it up. Really interesting. So much to think about. Definitely looking forward to continue reading this week, but I'm definitely not far enough in to have a true opinion. So far, I like the writing and I like how the introduction is going. Hopefully it continues to be good. Then I've also been reading The Sapling Cage. This, I am 66 pages in. I'm having a really good time with this one as well. It's slower to start than I anticipated, but I do believe that I've got to a point now where I understand what's going on. I don't completely understand the witchcraft side of things and how they're going to learn. I think when I heard, I don't know exactly how it was worded, when a coven comes to claim her, I think I expected more of a magic school, but it's definitely not that. It's more just travelling, and they've had a couple of, this is how this works, this is how this works, but we don't really know how she's going to learn to do things. However, I think the adventure side of this, the mystery that needs to be solved, I do think I know what that's going to be. There's kind of a nature thing going on, which is causing strife with them when it comes to other people controlled by different authorities. The witches are their own authority, but there's different authorities throughout the land, and it's causing some strife for that. And I think it could go many ways, but I think I get the general gist of it. I don't think I'm far enough in to know exactly how we're going to solve this, where we're going to go, how it's all going to happen, how much we're going to work together, all that sort of stuff. But thoroughly enjoying it so far. So yeah, not much to add, not much to say, but those are the two books. I'm interested and intrigued to keep reading both of them. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I will get some more reading time in tomorrow, because these first 2 days of the week have not really had much reading time. So yeah, I've managed to get a couple of hours in tonight, which I am happy about, but definitely not loads. And it's probably only been an hour of actually sat down reading, because I have been up and down all around the place. But I'm going to go to bed now, hopefully. Tomorrow's a nice, easy day. I know I've got no to do tomorrow. I know that is very wishful thinking. But I think I'm going to try and finish everything I need to do by 3. Have a couple of hours of reading before Jay will be about after work. And then we'll watch Jet Lag, because it's Wednesday. But then after that, read the entire evening as well, I think. But I'm hoping that is doable. So yeah, hopefully a bigger and better check-in on these tomorrow, but I'm very much looking forward to picking them up again. Hi, thought I'd do a check-in. Honestly, it's not been very long since I've checked in. I think I checked in right before bed last night, so I don't even know if I've recorded anything this morning. But basically, it is just after 2 o'clock now. I was hoping to be finished everything I need to do today by 3, so I could get in some reading time. However, I have a lot of video to edit, so I reckon 4 is a more likely time to be finished. Jay will finish work at 5:30, so that will still give me an hour and a half of reading time, which will, be fun, be good. But I'm also going to, before I manage to read, I'm going to do another wheel spin. I'm going to spend 5-10 minutes doing a bit of research and checking what books I have audiobooks available for and the audiobook. Leave those in the wheel and do a spin, because I know after Jay finishes work today, we're going for a long walk. So that's if I listen on more than 1 times speed, which normally I do, it's about an hour into an audiobook that I can get. So I'm definitely going to do one more spin, and that will pick our 3rd and potentially final book. It's only Wednesday, you never know. I might pick up speed. But this is turned out to be quite a busy week outside of my reading. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. That's kind of the plan for now. I don't have any updates on the reading, because I literally have not picked up a book since speaking to you last night. But I really want to, especially, I'm really enjoying both the books. I want to pick them up, I just have not found the time. So I think also having an audiobook available, so I can at least scratch that itch, will be a really good option. So yeah, I am in bed because it is freezing and I really can't be arsed to deal with the cold. So I'm going to edit in bed, and I'll come back shortly and we'll do another spin once I've done some research into what books have good audios to listen to. So yeah. Okay, hello. I've sorted it out. I'm down to 5 books that I have access to the audiobook for, and I like the audiobook. We have The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, Amari and the Despicable Wonders, Dawn, The Glass Hotel, and This Waving Kingdom. I'd honestly be happy with any of them. Like, I'd be most happy with Amari just because my library loan needs to go back. But yeah, truly, I'd be happy with any of these. So let's spin. That is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. Okay, I am intrigued. I'm interested. Yeah. That's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. This is it's the third book in the Crones of Nyaxia series, but the Crones of Nyaxia is like a series of 3 duologies, so it's the first book in the second duology. So I don't know how linked into the storyline things are going to be. I don't know if we're going to get something completely new, different, if we're going to be in the same world. I'm really not sure. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm excited. I think it'll be a fun one to pick up. I will probably start this one when I'm on my walk later today. So yeah, that's it. That is our third book. We now have 3 books on the go for this video, and yeah, fingers crossed. There's some good ones. It's been a while. I don't have the little microphone thing, so hopefully I can up the sound volume in this, so it's okay. I know it doesn't sound quite as good. I have done a few of these videos now, but it matches well enough. Basically, it's been a couple of days since I checked in because I got ill. It has not been a fun time here. I'm hoping I'm on the mend. Last night I slept for 15 hours and I'm already tired tonight, so I'm just going to go to bed and see it out and hope for the best. I feel better now than I did this time last night, so progress. I'm really hoping that I'll be okay tomorrow. Jay was ill about like 24 to 36 hours before me, and he's pretty much like fine now. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that like I'll be fine by tomorrow. So yeah, hopefully. But I have made a little bit of progress in my books. Speak Still, I've made no progress in. I've not been reading non-fiction. The Sapling Cage, I've made a little bit of progress in, but really not much. I'm still really enjoying it and I really want to sit down and read it. I just haven't wanted to read with my eyeballs for the last almost 48 hours now. However, The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, I've made major progress in. Like, I'm here. So, where is that? Like, just over page 250. So yeah, made a lot of progress in this. I had just been listening to the audio and I'm really enjoying the audiobook. I think it's a really decent audio. Right now it feels like a 3.5 or maybe a 4. I don't know, like I'm enjoying it. I'm having a fun time. I don't know, it's one of those where, because it is like technically the third book in a series, but that's how it's marketed now, whereas I think when I first picked up The Serpent and the Wings of Night, it was still indie published back then, and I'm sure it was advertised as 3 duologies making up a series. But this does kind of feel like you need to have read the first 2 first. Like, you can't just pick this one up. It isn't its own standalone duology. And annoyingly, it's mostly because of the characterisation. We don't get to know our main character in this quite as quickly as I would have liked, just so I think you're meant to have some understanding of her from the first 2 books. And then also there's a lot of things that like refers back to people that are in the other 2 books but aren't in this book, but it's just like mentioning like a thing to do with them. And it really feels like if I hadn't read the first 2, I would be completely lost with this. So yeah, I have mixed feelings in that sense. In terms of having a good time, it's great. Like, I have no regrets about picking it up. I'm not in any way thinking I'm going to have negative feelings by the end of this. But it doesn't feel like a 5-star. I don't even really know why. I think the setup in this feels so similar to the setup of book 1 of this series, at least in terms of what they're doing and what they have to do, even to the point where it like was called out like, oh, this is similar to the trials that I took part in, and that was book 1 of the book. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have better thoughts by the time I finish it, and I'm still hoping to get all 3 of these finished by the end of this week. So yeah, fingers crossed I feel okay tomorrow, and then I might even go out. I've been considering it, like having a little outing, doing something nice, but we will see. But either way, I'm planning on reading a lot tomorrow. I've managed to push through the last 2 days to do everything that I needed to do to have this weekend off. If I need it, I would like to get a couple of things done this weekend, but I definitely don't need to. I have set up a video to come out on Saturday, so tomorrow, as I'm filming this, which wasn't meant to come out for a while, but I just could not sit down and film. So a video that I've got planned for next week, which will be the week you're seeing this, I've just moved forwards. I edited it because I was like, I can make myself edit. Like, it should only take 2 or 3 hours to edit. I can make myself do that. I can't make myself sit in front of a camera and film. Like, I feel quite okay right now. I don't think I could film a whole video, but I'm definitely chatting away. Some hate's already been 5 minutes. But yesterday, this time yesterday, I was in bed. So yeah, I will check in tomorrow, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have a good weekend. So yeah, I'll see you then and have more book updates. Hello, hello. It has not been a very long time since I last checked in, but I have a lot to talk about. It is now Sunday. I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done this evening, but let's catch up. So, did I finish this yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I finished The Songbird and the Heart of Stone. I've gone for a 3.5 rating. I enjoyed this. I thought it was good. I felt like it didn't necessarily feel like it needed editing, but it felt like it kind of needed, like, I guess editing is the right word. I don't know. It was very repetitive, especially some phrases in this were repeated so often that it was like annoying. So that definitely got me. I like the characters. I'm intrigued. Like, I definitely want to read the next book. I'm excited to find the next book. I do tend to wait until I come across these naturally in the wild. I think I've got every single one of these in some sort of like Waterstone sale. But yeah, I'm happy I read this. I read the first 2 books in the series a very long time ago because I did read them when they were indie published and they have since been picked up traditionally. So it has been a long time, and obviously my taste could have just changed, but I don't think this had the same magic in it as I felt like the first 2 did. I felt like it was good. I really enjoyed following our main character. I was a little annoyed that we only got 1 chapter from our other character, like our male main character, because like it felt like at so many points we could have had his perspective and what he was thinking, and we just didn't. But I liked the world. I liked the part of this world we were exploring. Again, I'm trying to be vague because I don't want spoilers, but like this does take place in a very different place, somewhere we have never seen before, and it is very interesting. There was a lot I liked about this, but there was a lot I felt it was lacking. So 3.5 stars kind of feels right. So that's what I've gone with. I think if you've read the first 2 and you enjoy them and you want to learn more about this character, it's worth reading and worth continuing on. I think if you're not going to enjoy it, you'll figure that out pretty early on that it's not for you. So yeah. I also thought the audiobook was fine. Like I did mostly listen to this via audio, and it was fine. There was nothing wrong with it at all, and it was a fine narration. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Not really very much at all. I have made progress in both my books, but when I say made progress, we're talking like I've maybe read 10 pages of each. We are still very early on in the beginnings of both of these books, but I'm planning on changing that today. I don't really have anything to update in terms of what I'm thinking. They're still both great. I still think they're both going to be very highly rated. It wouldn't surprise me if both of these were higher rated than the one that I've finished. So yeah, that's how I'm planning on spending my evening tonight. And then you will have seen I've been out today. Eventually. I was really hoping that I'd go out on Saturday, but it just didn't work out. But still both feeling like a little bit under the weather. So it was like, let's not risk it, let's wait. And today it was like, yeah, let's do it. I did only take my phone out with me, so I took a few clips. Hopefully it came together all right. You'll have already seen that. But yeah, we ended up going to a few places, from a little independent bookstore that I found online, even though we've walked past it many times. It's like right next to Lush in Worcester city centre, and we go to Lush like, I don't know, 3-4 times a year. So how we've missed this, I don't know, but there's an independent bookshop. When I go into an independent bookshop, if I am able, I do like to buy something and support them. So I got a book that I've been wanting for a while. I do think I could have found it cheaper. Obviously, I paid like full RRP price for this in there, but it was a book in there that I really wanted to read. So I've gone for The 5. This is a non-fiction book about the lives of the women killed by Jack the Ripper. I've heard only amazing things about this. I already know that my library's got the audiobook available for this, but I did want the physical to read along with at the same time, because I think it's going to be the sort of book that I really want to, like dive into and at least tab up. Maybe not annotate, maybe not even write in at all, but at least put a few tabs in when I think there's important things going on. So yeah, really, really happy that I got that. And then we also went to St Richard's Hospice. Oh, actually, I'm going to check that this is the right book. Well, look, it's in front of me. I know I brought the book, but I brought it for a reason. Ah, yes, I think it is. So basically, a little while ago, I got this book. This is We Hunt the Flame. And as soon as I finished A Tempest of Tea duology by the author, Hafsa Faisal, I'm going to pick up this one. But the second book in the Tempest of Tea duology only came out like maybe 2 weeks ago. I think it was the 25th of September it came out, which is like just over 2 weeks ago. So I do know in that one, and I will be reading it basically as soon as I can get to it. But I had this. But since buying this, the covers have been changed. But in the charity shop, I found book 2 in this duology in the matching cover, and honestly this looks great. It looks like brand new condition. Like, I don't think this has ever been read. Obviously in the front of it they've wrote in sci-fi fantasy, and this was £2.45. £2.45, absolutely amazing. So I don't have a matching edition to read when I get around to this, and yeah, like, no complaints. Also from the charity shop, I guess unrelated, but you know, you might see this in a future vlog, who knows. Last year, when it got to cold, cosy season, I knit a few things. They're all very square things. So I made a scarf and I made a book cover. I'm back. Basically, I was saying that I'd knit some square things. I am hoping to finish off a few more projects that I started last year. Knitting is a very like seasonal hobby for me. I do feel like it's kind of November time I start doing it, and by February I'm done with it. But my thought was just this year, maybe I'll attempt some socks. I think they're relatively easy, but like, it takes a little while to pick up on it. And the only thing I think that I need, fingers crossed, that I don't have to make socks is circular needles. And there were these in the charity shop for £1. They're 3mm circular needles. What I could quickly see for circular needles when I was in the charity shop and I was like looking at them, because there was like 6 or 7 that were all 3mm, and I was like, right, let's do some research into this. What I could quickly see is that it sounds like most, I almost called them recipes then. They're not recipes, but most tutorials recommend 2.5mm ones. A lot of people say they cast on and cast off using 3mm, so it's not too tight. I do not like tight socks. But also a lot of them, when it's like, you know, you figure out what socks you like. A lot of them was like anywhere between kind of like 2.25 to 3.25 is kind of like acceptable. So yeah, even if I do end up needing more and I need to buy them new, these will be okay to learn with 100%. And yeah, maybe this year I'll make some socks. So I'll grab those for £1. If you ever need knitting needles, check your charity shops. They always have them in. I've got most of my knitting needles from charity shops. So yeah, I would highly recommend. It just seems really decent, to be honest. Like, obviously a lot of people use knitting needles and then get rid of them, or a lot of people buy a pack and only need certain sizes, or all good stuff like that, and they end up being loads. There was an entire tub next to these full of like just standard knitting needles of all different sizes. So yeah, that is that. I've purchased 3 things today: 2 books and a set of knitting needles. Oh, I actually also brought some mousse for my hair because my hair's being weird. So I'm going to go back to what I used to do as a 12-year-old and see if that fixes my hair currently, because you might have noticed it just constantly implants lately because it really just doesn't want to behave. And I'm using heat on it way more than I'm personally comfortable with. Like, once a month I maybe normally use heat on my hair, and it has been considerably more frequent than that, which I'm just not very comfortable with for myself and my hair, with how much I like to bleach it. But yeah, this is a reading video. You don't need to know that. I'm going to do some reading. I honestly, I'm probably going to find somewhere cosy to lie down after I've ate tea and read for the rest of the evening. Whether you'll see any of that or not, I don't know. It really depends on if I can be bothered to wear like normal clothes, if I'm going to get into my big baggy comfies and relax. But either way, hopefully by the end of tonight we'll have some reading check-ins. So yeah, see you soon. Hello. Time for a final check-in. Over the last, I'm not gonna lie, it's taken me over a week to finish these 2 books, but I have finished them. This one only took me a day. Once I was in it, I was in it. This one has taken a long time, but for such good reason. So let's quickly talk about them. The Sapling Cage. I'm giving this 4 stars in the end. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. When more books in the series come out, I will definitely pick them up. And I would say for anyone who enjoys like a good YA witchy story with loads of queer rep and a really interesting plot line that you don't quite know where it's going, like, give it a try, pick it up. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. There wasn't really any massive downsides to me, except the plot was a bit predictable. But it's really difficult for me to gauge if the plot would have been predictable if I was reading this as like an actual teenager. So it's not a proper downside. And yeah, like, I did thoroughly enjoy this. It just didn't give me the 5-star feelings. And I wasn't quite as gripped into it as I would have liked to have been. I definitely could put it down. So yeah, I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. I don't really know where we're going to go from here, to be honest, because, like, it kind of concluded. Like, most things that we needed to know were, like, very resolved, and it felt very complete. So I'm intrigued to figure out, like, what the next book in this series could be. Like, I still feel like there's loads of growth and loads of things that we could go on with this main character we saw in here, but I also feel like we could see different characters. So very, very intrigued by this. 100% 4-star read, and would definitely recommend it. So really great time. Then I also finished Speak Still. So this was the non-fiction book, and this took ages. To be quite honest, it just took ages. I don't read non-fiction very fast, and I'd say over the last week, maybe, once I finished this one, I was like, okay, I actually need to finish this now. And over the last week, I've read maybe 10 pages a day, which I know isn't a lot, but that's just how I had to do it to read it. But I wish I had, you know, that time where I just had a day of nothing, because if I'd had a day of nothing in that time, I do think I would have just, like, read this through. It was amazing, so amazing that I'm giving it 5 stars. It was so, so interesting. I will say it wasn't, like, the perfect 5 stars. It wasn't a 5-star where I'm like, no notes, nothing. For me, this was all amazing, but I did find the epilogue just not quite as strong as the rest of the book. It kind of felt like more of a personal wrap-up than actually wrapping up all of the rest of the stuff as well. It only kind of felt like we had a personal wrap-up, but still really great. And, like, the epilogue was 4 pages at the end, like, really not a big deal. But yeah, if I did have to be nitpicky, that is what I'd say. This was so interesting. It brought up so many topics, so many things. Like, I really didn't know what to expect going into this, and it was great. As you can see by the tabs, there were also so many things that are highlighted because they were interesting. I'd like to look into more. Things that are highlighted because of how they're written, and even a couple of things that are highlighted just because of, like, personal interest in them and either wanting to go and see them or learn more about them, stuff like that. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed, and I definitely think it's worth the read. It was a very interesting look at, like, bilingualism and language and translation, and a very interesting look at silence as well. Like, I'd say throughout the start of the book, I thought I understood the title of Speak Still, articulating the silence of bilingualism, but I'd say it wasn't until part 3 where the meaning kind of changed and it meant something different, and it was a really interesting way to think and make you realise, like, oh, like, the way that I've been thinking of this in my head, like, actually isn't completely how this could be interpreted. And I'll leave it like that. Like, it is a non-fiction, so, like, no spoilers, obviously, like, that's not really a thing, but the way it was written was really cool. So yeah, really glad that I finished these 2, and obviously I also finished The Songbird and the Heart of Stone during this as well. So yeah, had a great time, really enjoyed it, and we'll definitely do this again and try and get more books off of the TBR. Maybe not doing the spinner wheel next time, but definitely doing something like this, because I would like to keep getting the books read. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon. Dig the video a like if you liked it. Subscribe down below to see more content like this, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.